Well, obviously it was a tale of two halves. Fortunately for us, we dominated the first half. Second half, give Campbell all the credit. Coach Lang did a great job. Their kids played with great toughness in the second half. We were unable to take them out of anything they were trying to do. They worked the shot clock, took care of the ball, made some tough shots, finished with strength around the rim. I can see why they were picked to win their league. And there's actually, although I was disappointed in our defense in the second half, I was happy with the fact that we were able to get under some game pressure. We desperately needed that before Friday, because obviously we've been in nothing but laughers. So not good, but maybe a little wake-up call that some of our guys needed, as far as keeping our focus and playing 40 minutes and playing against a team that when you do break down can exploit you a little bit, put some fouls on you, and put the ball in the basket the way they did in the second half. So we rested on defense in the second half. We paid the price. We didn't have any energy on the defensive end of the floor in the second half. But I give them all the credit, because I think they took a lot of our energy away from us with their toughness and the way they took care of the ball and worked their offense, which is credit to them.
Were you pleased with how they responded the final couple minutes to answer the bell? There's a lot of things we got to get better at. But again, the fact that we played 4 games since November 20th is, it's still unusual. You really start thinking about, you didn't practice until October 12th. But after I watched the film on this team, I knew that. I told our guys at half, I got great respect for their program and Coach Lang. After watching film, they were never down more than 14 at Iowa State really until the last few minutes of the game. Their kids compete. You got to give them credit. We needed to play against that, because things have been too easy for us. And when things weren't easy, our guys, for a second there, didn't know what to do. But we regrouped, did what we had to do. But obviously, offensively, can't complain too much when you shoot 50% and score 91 points. We had some we took too many bad shots when they played good D. We didn't do a good enough job of penetrating and getting fouled, especially when we were in the bonus. We were shooting tough jump shots. So it's just a lot of things we got to learn. And a lot of it is because things have been too easy for us. And all of a sudden they weren't.
I think Clark, SK, and Cash all were up over 30 minutes. Those are the guys that you're comfortable with, particularly defensively in the second half, because the way they...
Now, to be honest with you, I apologize to Shaq, G-Lon, and Jermaine, and JD, because I thought they all played pretty well when they played. But, when the game... The problem is you can have one of those guys. You can't have them all in at the same time. Then it was good for those other guys that have to deal with some game pressure. You get caught. You're trying to get a rotation. You're thinking, okay, I can get all these guys in. But the problem is Campbell doesn't go away.
Yeah.
I knew that was probably going to happen, so it wasn't bad for those guys to have to get to the bottom of themselves a little bit and play, through a whole game.
Yeah.
But our other guys played. I thought defensively, Shaq Thomas made some rotations he hadn't made before, and he made some really good plays.
Like you said, it's hard to complain on offense when you score 91 points, all that. But is that okay? How many with SK, those 3 kind of taking the majority of the shots, or are you looking for more?
I don't care who scores. I could care less who scores. Yeah. We took what I would say is we took too many tough jump shots tonight for no reason. We settled. When they played good D and we threw 4 or 5 passes, we just decided that, somebody was going to shoot it. Now, we played pretty, I give a pretty free rein to Cash and SK because they're great players offensively. But you got to realize, when you're in the bonus and a team's, they're spreading out on you and they're not giving you the wide open ones, you got to go get fouled. Yeah. You got to. And Park did a great job. He bailed us out but he's the best. He's as good a guy as taking it to the basket as I've ever coached.
That distribution will really, like you said, shot selection, will even out a lot more across the team as guys maybe attack more and the ball moves more.
That's just one game. Don't
Yeah.
read, who knows? The defense decides who's open. Titus has been sick. He sprained his ankle. He's had a bad sinus infection. He's not himself. Justin's fouls too much. Same old story.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get a rhythm and be effective. But again, Justin, if he could ever play 25 minutes, he's going to get double-digit rebounds every game. He's that kind of rebounder at this point in his career, but he's over there with fouls all the time.
Can you look ahead to this weekend a little bit?
Yeah,
What do you
sure.
expect from Iowa State?
Well, because I saw them play Campbell, I was really impressed with Iowa State's guard play. I know Fred Woodward's a great guy, but I never really watched them from a X and O standpoint. They spread the floor out. They got guys can make shots, but they got a couple guys can score in the low post as well. They got a freshman that can score in the low post. They got, obviously, with the transfers, Fab and Lucius are veteran guys. Will Cleburne's a veteran guy. They got guys that played a lot of high major basketball. I like the makeup of their team. I think they're an NCAA tournament team from what I've seen. They got too many weapons, and they're as athletic as they are, as well coached as they are. They're going to be one of the 64 teams, however many go to the tournament.
So do you look at this like probably fans of the media are, the chance to find out how good you are?
Yeah, no, because if you win them both, they say you're great and we're not great. If you lose them both, they're going to say you stink and you don't stink. If you win one and lose one, they're going to say, oh, they're just okay. And none of it means anything because it's November. It's just the truth. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the truth. So
what do you look for out there? Just like if you're playing.
You need these kind of games. You got to compete. Number one, I'm interested in us competing and being able to deal with adversity, make the adjustments we need to make, and find out how to win a game instead of worrying about how many we're going to win by. We need to win by one. That's all you need to win by. And you got to stay together. You got to make the right adjustments and play to your strengths. And everybody's got to play within themselves. You got to be solid on the defensive end. Obviously, you play these type of teams. I think both of them are NCAA tournament teams. And Oregon, and I say that I should say all three. They got the kid from Rice, Kazemi, eligible, and they got one of the best coaches in college basketball for years, Dana Altman. So you're talking about three teams that we could play. They are all probable NCAA tournament teams. So it's good. We need it. Looking forward to it, but it's not going to say anything because if we don't play well, we're not going to quit. We didn't quit last year. Things couldn't have been much worse at 5-3 after the Xavier game than they were a year ago. So, but if you win both, you don't hang a banner saying you're 6-0 either. So it's November. It's not college football. One win doesn't mean anything. You got to keep on getting better, that kid.
Do you think your players look at it as a test for them?
Oh, yeah. They're
not a
excited.
test, but a gauge to see.
They're ready. They're excited. Because you got to understand the guys, I don't know if you asked them this, but they're sitting around, they're watching all these other games on TV. They're seeing who's playing who, that type of stuff. So we don't always get invited to those big parties. So fortunately for us, Lon Kruger and I are friends, and we did this 4 years ago. We put it together again, and Dana Altman's become a friend of mine, and so is Fred Woodward. So it's good for all four of us.
You've been following the conference realignment stuff. Obviously, I'm sure you have. Are you any thoughts on that?
A long time ago, a guy told me, worry about things you can control. What I would say is my job is to make sure that we have the best basketball program at the University of Cincinnati that we can have. And that's my focus. We've done a pretty good job of that over the last 6+ years here, getting us back to where we got a great college basketball program and our traditions restored. That's what I worry about, because the rest of the stuff I got nothing to do with. And nobody cares about my opinion anyway, so.
I do. I care about it.
Yeah, you know, so it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna worry about the Bearcats. You know, like I say that all the time. You know, I feel the same way the fans do. You can put that. I feel the same way the fans do.
Which is what, tired of it?
You know exactly how the fans feel. I feel the same way that everybody, every Syracuse fan, or my friends that I met at Saratoga over the last 6 years, going there in August. My buddy Tori, who's works at my favorite restaurant in Saratoga, is distraught about them not being in the Big East. He's distraught about it. I had to talk him off the ledge. You guys are Syracuse. You know, I know I feel the same way everybody else does, but you know, you got to march on. I can't. You know, best thing I can do is stay focused on what I'm doing, and I'm happy with our recruiting class. I know this, Cincinnati basketball has gone through a lot over a long period of time. Different conferences, different coaches. Some things quiet, some things public. We got great history and tradition. It's not going anywhere. We're just going to keep getting better. That's our focus.
Anything else? Thanks, Coach.